Improvements will be moving ahead now for Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium. More on that. Plus, Carrie Schneider is back with our friends at the Du Bois County Humane Society, and Mark Messmer discusses the upcoming Holy Family Church picnic tonight on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. Well, the first step towards improvements at Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium has been given the green light to proceed. Last night, the Greater Jasper School Board decided to allow the Jasper football boosters to seek fundraising for new artificial turf at the facility. It will be supported 100% by community donations. Now, last month, President of the Jasper football boosters, Richard Farr, presented a proposal on the number of improvements to the 53-year-old facility. Those were highlighted by the new playing surface. Farr told the board last month the conversion of the playing surface to artificial turf would cost somewhere in the range of $700,000 to $800,000. Farr says he's pleased with the board's approval to allow the football boosters to seek funding. He also says the organization is now ready to move forward.
We're real excited to partner with the school board and start a fundraising efforts and get the whole community behind getting an artificial turf field funded and installed by next football season. So a lot of work ahead of us, but feel really good about what we expect to see as far as community support.
Other possible improvements over a 3 to 5 year period include work on stadium entrances, seating, and press facilities. However, the playing surface will take first priority. Farr says the other projects are ones that the group can get funding for later on. Farr says the plan for improvements at Jerry Brewer Alumni Stadium will benefit multiple programs down the road and not just football.
One other thing that we're really excited about is just investing in our future for our players, coaches, fans, and band members and other sports that may use this field. It'll be something we can use for generations to come.
Also, as part of the plan, the Football Boosters organization plans to work with Jasper High School Athletic Director Andy Noblet and head football coach Tony Ahrens to negotiate field naming rights to businesses or individuals that may fund the new turf. Several years back, the stadium itself was named after Brewer, the longtime football coach who guided the Wildcat program for 44 years. Farr pointed out last month that the naming rights would be for the playing surface only. Farr says the club plans to put a detailed fundraising plan together involving a number of events. Those events would likely culminate with a celebration of all that is accomplished through the funds that are raised by the end of this year. In other news this evening, the Indiana Department of Transportation says weather permitting, they will be closing US 231 for 1 to 2 work days early next week to replace a drainage pipe under the highway north of the State Road 56 junction at Hayesville. NDOT says the road will be closed beginning at 8 o'clock on Monday, September 29th. Now, local traffic will have access up to the work zone where all lanes will be closed and no through traffic will be allowed. NDOT says the detour for heavy highway traffic will follow State Road 56, Interstate 69, and US Highway 50 and 150. For construction updates and traffic alerts, you can follow NDOT Southwest's Facebook and Twitter pages. You can also access the TrafficWise Traveler Information Service by going to ndot.carsprogram.org. A former Cannleton school superintendent charged with stealing money from the district is set to appear in court next week. Al Chapman will be standing trial next Monday, September 29th. He served as superintendent of the district from 2005 until he was dismissed in early 2012. Now, Chapman was arrested last May originally in Louisiana after a state audit in Indiana found that he allegedly took more than $200,000 in extra pay for himself. The investigation also found that Chapman quit paying the school's federal taxes and misused a school trust fund worth more than $330,000. Chapman originally fled to Louisiana after his firing in January of 2012. He had been a finalist for a superintendent's job in the Baton Rouge area. However, he was not hired once school officials found out about his legal issues in Indiana. He then worked as a car salesman at a Pontiac dealership in the Shreveport area, where he was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals. He is charged with 2 felonies for theft and 2 other felony counts for official misconduct. Finally this evening, the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute plans to make more than $740,400 in additional funding available to 43 domestic violence shelters already receiving funds from the Institute. The money will be added to the Domestic Violence Treatment and Prevention Fund, which is used to provide immediate assistance and short-term support to domestic violence victims. Institute Executive Director Mary Allen says funds will be expedited so shelters can get them as quickly as possible. She says funding for domestic violence programs is more than $4.2 million for this year, an increase of $1.5 million from last year. Now, the plan calls for domestic violence programs to submit their budgets and plans on how the money will be spent to the Domestic Violence Treatment and Prevention Fund Council, which will review requests and make various recommendations. All right, coming up after the break, Carrie is back with our friends at the Du Bois County Humane Society, plus your local forecast, sports with Kurt Guxell, and Inform with Mark Messmer. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.